Welcome back to Game Devs Play Games, where we play games, talk game design, and we are playing more Vagrant Story. And probably this is our last episode.
For now, at least.
For now. Depending on how far we get, I guess. We're hoping to get to a certain point, which I think is what the combo moves.
Yeah. So look at this. This is the map. You can rotate it and do this because this is really useful.
This is a 3D map.
It is a
3D game. Everything's 3D.
It is so 3D.
So much 3D.
And you can even do this. And then, okay, so cool. What's really interesting is every single room has a name.
Wow.
Literally every room in the game has a name. I kid you not.
You know, for strategy guides or walkthrough guides, that is like a godsend.
No joke. They'd be like, you need to find this. You need to go to the rich drown in wine. And then you need to find, there's a box. And then within that box, actually, I'm sorry, it was actually in the room, the Reckoning room. And it's actually really cool. The map is pretty straightforward. Boom, container save. I wish it would tell you that when you weren't on the room, so I could remember where the chamomile sigil is. But, worst case scenario, you could just rummage through the rooms until you find the place you're looking for.
It is really straightforward, though. Sometimes I feel like a lot of designers get a little, extra creative with their maps.
Hyperlight Drifter.
Yeah, dude. No, it
took a while.
I don't know how much you talked about it when you
A decent bit.
Now that I've played Hyperlight Drifter, I'm just like, this map, I don't... I kind of get where it is.
I completely intuitively understood it by the end of the first area, but at that point, it was still like, why?
My problem with it is that your character doesn't actually move around within the areas you're in.
Yes.
And it's so counterintuitive, because it's like, I don't know where this actually is in relationship to where I am.
Unfortunately, they don't with this either. It just shows you the symbol of the room you're in. But it's not really that big of a deal.
But the rooms don't have any depth on that map.
The rooms are also small.
Yeah, so it doesn't need any more detail than that. Hyperlight Drifter, it did. It really did.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Ready? Oh, I tried to open the door, but something's happening. Cutscene.
Does he just
what you're not hearing right now is there's clapping, slow clapping. There it is.
Sydney. Does he have 2 elbow bucklers?
Yes, elbow bucklers are a thing in this game. Ashley Wright has one, the Inquisitor has one, and I think Sydney had one on his arms.
Great for defending your back.
He also has a butt cape. Funny story.
I love butt capes in games.
Funny story is, there is a game I'm making, we're working on, that has a character class called the Vagrant, has a butt cape. So,
I remember.
Boom. That's where it's from. So this is a risk breaker. Most men complacently accept knowledge as truth. They are sheep ruled by fear, but you are different. Always calm, detached, a smooth flow of thought into action. Indeed, it is almost as if you have no soul.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we're going this way now.
How do you do it? Body and soul are one, yet yours are separate, like a child from the night in his storybook. Where is your soul, Riskbreaker? Is this the VKP training? Or did you see something that made you shut your soul away?
I just lost it with my sleeves.
Really? What is this? What? Show me your soul.
Things are happening.
All right, there we go.
Ah, we're back to this.
Now we're in a color world, but we're not colored.
Oh no! It's because we're soulless. I get it. It's a visual metaphor.
We're detached from our story.
We don't fit in.
I guess
all these happy people.
This is this scene
is that our
so
soul?
Much reminds me of the Gladiator. It's not even funny.
I could see that.
No, you're about to see it.
Oh,
look at this. Oh, look at this.
Please
my hair wasn't doing crazy things. No,
please tell me Soulless version just goes and kills all of them, and it's like, but why? Actually, in a way, I'm kind of happy that there's no dialogue right now.
It builds into it. The dream becomes more and more complex.
Ooh.
That is why it reminds me of Gladiator.
You know what else this reminds me of? It reminds me of, maybe it's the original God of War. Maybe it was that weird PSP version, now that I think about it. Yeah, God of War did this too. Where they're like, this is why Kratos is so angry.
You know, it does follow that. Well, I mean, because the original God of War is a Greek tragedy. So I'm wondering if they were trying to shoot for it in this game too. I'm not really sure. You killed your beloved wife and child. They were slain by fallen knights, jackals. I guess that could have been you. Wrong. You failed to protect your wife, your child.
I don't know,
you failed in your duty as a knight, as a husband, as a father. You killed them.
Because you have no soul.
Floop.
But I didn't kill them. The jackals did.
Try to catch me, Ashley Riot.
Wait, you can fly?
Look outside yourself to find your truth. Don't interrupt me.
What's your game?
Harden.
What? Oh, he's
That's not the game. That's the game is
turning
Harden.
into Pokemon right
It's
now?
like it's choose you. By the way, he has the Inquisitor, which, if funny, or she was the one caught by it, but at the same time the door was locked. So how does she? Whatever. Merlot's is her name.
Ugh. Pay no heed to me. Take them, Riot. Oh wait, she had a more not weird voice.
Hello. The City of Shade will forgive your sins, my son, and call forth a power that lies within you even now. This is my game.
Oh man.
I run, you give chase. I am the heart, and you're the hunter. But this heart has laid a few snares of his own. I am waiting for you, Riskbreaker. Floop.
Did you also notice that his neck is literally as wide as his head?
It's...
Dude, he's
really all the characters have extremely like. It's because they tried to go for a stylized thing and they kind of turned out a little weird. Damn it! They keep getting me with that distraction thing.
Man, how
those two and
he just told you there were traps, man.
And this is where things get a little weird.
Ashley has recovered the battle abilities
from his suppressed memory.
Ooh.
And that's where I was like, suppressed memory.
We're getting a little psychological here in a game that has nothing to do with psychology.
And what does that even mean? So then you have to go to your menu, and if you didn't know to do this, then
you just don't realize you have battle abilities.
Yeah, you're like, I got battle abilities. What does that mean? I don't know. Nothing happened.
Guess we'll find out next time we're in combat.
Nothing? Alright. Okay, so we have our chain abilities now, which is really nice because that's, as I said, like the skill of the game. So Heavy Shot inflicts 70% of the damage of the original attack. Gain Life regenerates 30% of the damage dealt. So we'll set that to triangle. And then Temper inflicts an additional 40% and adds an amount to your DP, which is your durability points for your weapons.
They give you a decent bit. Well, I guess they have to give you more than one.
One
if
for
you're going to chain it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They give you one for each of the buttons because X never does anything. It cancels. So
okay.
They give you one for the active ones. So Ward takes less, or no, I'm sorry. Impact Guard takes less damage. Reflect damage, blocks it, and then Ward prevents you from getting paralyzed or numbness.
So I assume defense and chain abilities are just different toggles in the D-pad?
No, when you get attacked, you use a defense ability. It will give you the opportunity, and when you attack, you get the chain ability. And it's all up to you pressing the button. There's no... the game doesn't have to... It tells you, like, when the time to do it is, but that's about it. It's mostly intuitive once you understand it.
That's kind of nice.
Summoner had a system somewhat similar to this, if I'm not mistaken. And it was actually... That was a pretty good game. Had some issues. So, by the way, in Magic, under Magic, we have Warlock, Shaman, Sorcerer, Enchanter. And they tell you kind of the idea of each one. And then Shaman has healing on it. So, all that stuff. Pretty cool. Alright.
Why are shamans always the healers?
Because
especially in this game, I feel like in this game that would make more sense to make it like priest, because they talk about the holy stuff and Grimlock.
Another thing I just remembered is when you enter a room, they give you a noise for the monster that shows up. So we just entered and here. Come on. That's the sound for undead. Bones. So, where did this guy come from? What's going on? Is he alive? Let's find out by hitting him. So, what they did is they gave us a target dummy, but it comes in the shape of, it's actually a human. It's not undead. That's weird. But So basically, I can train an item by just smacking this dummy over and over again to train my human stat up.
Does it break eventually?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say otherwise this is broken as hell.
Yeah, right.
And also a time waster.
Definitely.
I guess I'll be here for the next 10 hours. Cool.
But it's cool that they did it because now you'd be like, oh man, I can hit this thing, and then all of a sudden you do it, and you're like, all right, cool. I guess I'll hit this. And what was that exclamation mark that just appeared?
Oh.
Chain. Look at me. Boom.
That's really nice, actually. This is... I'm happy that they had something set up to teach the player how to use their combo abilities. And you know, kind of one of the best things about it, even though maybe they could have used some tutorial text to tell you, like, hey, you should, you know, use your combo abilities, or, like, set them up at least.
Yeah.
In fact, they should have just defaulted them.
Yeah, they should have. That way you wouldn't have, like, you would have accidentally stumbled upon them, because accidentally teaching is one of the best ways to teach in a game, at least.
But like this right here, it doesn't even need to say like, hey, you should learn how to use combo abilities. This is how they work. They just give you a dummy.
In a modern game, they would have been like, right now they'd be like, all right, let's explain all of the details of everything.
And especially like he's a human. The dummy's a human shape, so you're like, I've never seen another human shape just sitting around that wasn't a dead person.
So you use this, if I hit it, is it going to live? And then you hit it once and you're like, oh.
Well, first you use the target thing and you're like, oh, this is something I can target and hit. Then you go, well, what happens if I hit it? And then you see the exclamation mark and you're like, wait a second, I just got a thing. Maybe this is that thing.
Yep.
It's good. It's really smart. It's intuitive. It's good design, except for not defaulting the combo abilities.
If they had done that, then, you know. And then you do that, and then you're like, oh, battle abilities. And then you take a look at your menu if you hadn't already. Or, I mean, I'm sure you would have. And then you start to think, oh, defense abilities. So I guess when I get attacked, I can use these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're much harder to do because it's based off of when your opponents attack you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's... that is where the game skill comes in. Now notice, if you remember, my risk was like at 12 after I was done with that whatever 8 chain combo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when all of a sudden it's like, man, I just chained like 1,000,000 times, but I'm missing, and now I'm not doing any damage. What's going on? So there's you know, that interesting thing to skill. But I think we're about out of time.
Yeah, we're at time.
So that is mostly what the game has to offer. We are missing out on break arts, but
that's the core mechanics.
Yeah, I have to use a weapon a really long time to get a break art, and all it does is it's like a spell, but it takes hit points instead of MP.
Cool.
Yeah.
Question today: do you want to talk about the combo stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. In this game, it took a while to access the combos, and that is really, as I said, where the skill falls into the game. How do you feel about them taking a little while to get the player acclimated to that, or to at least even get those abilities? And what would you have done differently instead of just saying he repressed his memories? Or unrepressed him?
Decompressed.
Decompressed his memory a little bit at a time.
Oh. Leaks out. Yeah, especially because it's post-tutorial, you know. We've had a very established tutorial, even if it didn't totally feel like it. Like, now we're not getting little credits, things popping in, and this feels like a real level. Yeah, I agree. I think that warrants discussion.
Yeah, so that's about it. Also,
share your thoughts in the comment section below. I know we haven't really been saying that, but I hope you...
Hope you're also following us on Facebook and Twitter, because you should do that.
If you like this series, maybe you're one of the new viewers, give us a subscribe. I mean,
do the subscribe thing. Oh, did we say vote yet?
And vote.
So you gotta vote. If you want to keep this thing going, vote, because if not, we're done with it, and you're never gonna see it again. So you know.
But yeah,
that's on you.
Yeah, this is the end of Vagrant Story. I guess, you know, the other voting options could reappear if, you know, it comes to pass and people want to see more Vagrant Story. But yeah,
probably not.
Really, it's whatever you guys want to see more.
Probably not.
Well, whatever you vote, we will see you as we play that
Bye.
series.